So Jada Pinkett Smith has found newer and newer ways to embarrass her husband, Will Smith. Now, Will Smith is an American icon. Will Smith is one of the greatest actors, if not the greatest actor of our time. And yet Will Smith has had his reputation thoroughly destroyed by Jada Pinkett Smith. I mean, it just blows my mind, the depths of depravity, like the levels that she can go to. Like, she still doesn't get that she's humiliating this man. It's not registering to her yet. Now, 2 years ago, Will Smith slapped Earth, Wind, and Fire out of Chris Rock over Chris Rock making fun of Jada for being bald. Now, apologies were said and things happened, but Jada Pinkett Smith came out like yesterday and dropped an interview in which she said, Will Smith and her have been separated since 2016. Now, with the context of Will having slapped the shit out of Chris Rock behind you, is it really smart for you to come out to the world and tell them that you and him were separated after he slapped Chris Rock and then went and said, keep my wife, not my estranged wife, not my separated wife, not my ex-wife. He said, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. Is it really smart for you to come out 2 years later and say, I don't even know what Will was doing? That's basically what she's done. Don't believe me? Watch.
Surprising things in the book, but the thing that surprised me the most, that I actually had to reread it because I said, is this true?
Right.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper,
Right.
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
Yes.
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
This fool, bruh, why would you say this? Your husband tanked his entire reputation and legacy behind you, and you had the audacity to hop on the internet and tell the whole country and the world that you and him were separated since 2016. You might want to keep that under wraps after he smacked Chris Rock over you, crashed his entire reputation out over you, humiliated himself over you. I mean, what Will Smith went through that night, and Chris Rock was the victim that night. But what Will Smith put himself through that night, Will Smith embarrassed and humiliated himself, not just with the infamous Red Table Talk conversation, but by smacking Chris Rock over you. He crashed out everything he built. And then for you to hop on social media and tell the world, basically, I don't even know what he was doing. I don't even understand. Bruh, like, do you have any concept of loyalty? This woman is not loyal to Will Smith. She has no respect for Will Smith. She doesn't even have the capacity to understand the kind of damage she does to him. She doesn't have the capacity to understand, ma'am, you're the source. You are the source. Red Table Talk, all this fuckery. You're the source. She doesn't get it. She just doesn't have the capacity to understand. Now, if you think what Jada Pinkett Smith did by dropping that interview was bad, here's what she went on to say in the interview. Now, the interview was done by the Today Show. Now, Today.com dropped some of the excerpts from the full interview. Oh, yeah. Here's what she had to say. She said this. She said, like the rest of the live audience and those watching at home at the time, Pinkett Smith says she was surprised, but for a different reason. First of all, I'm really shocked because, mind you, I'm not here. I'm not there. We haven't called each other husband and wife in a long time, she tells Hoda. She recalls being confused at the time. Pinkett Smith adds, I'm really worried for Will because I don't know what's going on. How you don't know what's going on? Bruh, hold up. How you don't know what's going on? You're the man's wife. Well, we're wrong about that, apparently. You're the man's ex-wife. You popped out to this award show with him. How do you not know that what you've done has brought him untold amounts of pain and suffering? And we know it's true, not just because of that look that Will Smith had in the Red Table Talk show, that infamous meme. Oh no. We know it's true now because the man went up on the stage, smacked Chris Rock, smacked Chris Rock, walked down the stairs, screamed at him and said, "Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth." This man created a nigga moment at the Oscars. This man created a nigga moment at the Oscars. And it's like, this man tanked his career, had a whole nigga moment at the Oscars over you, and you come on social media and say, "I don't even understand why he did that. I mean, we weren't even husband and wife. I don't even know where that came from." So everybody else understands where this is coming from, but you? Bruh, this woman is truly just, this woman has no concept of cohesion, teamwork, loyalty, respect. Like, imagine having imagine having a wife like this. Let's just call it what it is. Imagine having a wife like this with no care or concern for the way that she makes you think. Y'all think that's the worst of it? Oh no, I got something else for y'all. So Jada Pinkett Smith, in her new interview, goes on to say that Tupac and her were soulmates, that he proposed to her while he was locked up, and that if anyone that she's met spent a past life with her, it was Tupac. Don't believe me? Don't worry about it.
If there is such a thing as past lives, definitely think Pac and I have traveled a few together, in various forms. So,
has there ever been a time that you regretted the decision that you made not to take it to that level with him and to keep it in the friendship space?
It just wasn't possible. There was no chemistry between us. I talk about it in the book.
It's just hard to believe that we see chemistry with the two of you guys. Even in the videos you guys dance, and there seems to be so much chemistry. But for your
chemistry, it's that friendship, love chemistry. Okay. Trust me.
Jada is so full of shit. How can you sit there and still be like caught up over this man in the way that you are 20 years later? Look, I understand that Tupac was her friend, a close friend. I get it. She visited the man when he was locked up. But Jada, why are you sitting here telling the whole world that the reason why you and Tupac didn't get together because the chemistry wasn't there? Bruh, you just sat there and said that if you ever spent a past life with anyone, it was Tupac. Then you go on to say you've probably shared multiple past lives with him. So it's like, bruh, why even lie? Your daughter is writing, with all due respect, Willow, your daughter, is writing letters to Tupac years after he's dead. Like, why are you even talking about this? Your divorced husband is Will Smith. The humiliation he's receiving is as a result of not only your entanglement with August, but also your Tupac comments. Why would you come out and say that you've spent multiple past lives with Tupac when your husband, who just smacked one of the greatest comedians of all time in the face on stage over you, is dealing with the emotional blowback and just total like fallout of this? We haven't heard anything from Will Smith in a while. Will Smith ain't been saying shit in a while. Will Smith has been quiet for a while. And if you're going to speak, the least you could do is say something amazing or positive or nice about Will. But instead, you do this. And it's like, it blows my mind, the complete lack of empathy, lack of strategic, like just complete and total lack of care or concern for this man, Will Smith, at all.
I talk about this in the book when I go to see him in Rikers, when I wrote about that in the book, and when I had to.
But he proposed to you while he was in jail.
I talk about this in the book when I go to see him in Rikers, when I wrote about that in the book, and when I had to talk about it, speak my words for the audible version of the book. That was probably one of the more painful parts, seeing him there, the condition that he was in, and having to leave him there. And he was in bad shape. And so when he asked me to get married, he was at Rikers. And I knew at that time that he needed somebody to do time with him, which I was going to do anyway. He didn't have to marry me to do time.
Bruh, he wanted someone who would do time with him. I was going to do it anyways. He didn't even have to marry me to do that. So it's like, Your husband is dealing with the emotional and psychological blowback, humiliation, and embarrassment as a result of you and the pressure that your behavior has brought upon his life. And somewhere in your mind, you decide what better way to, speak in 2023 than to further humiliate my husband. This is abuse. This is full on psychological abuse. This woman has to know what her comments are doing to Will. She has the internet. She has social media. She has to know. She has to know she's humiliating the one man she married and had kids. She has to know. You married this man, you had kids with this man. You know your comments are destroying this man. Why are you continuing and furthering your behavior? Like, why? Why? What do you stand to gain from what you're doing right now? I struggle to understand. She doesn't care. She's got no care or concern for just the havoc she's wreaked. This chick is just, there's no salvation. There's no saving her. Will Smith needs to move on. Call it quits. Call it a day. This like declaration they made to each other to never ever get a divorce. Bro, what's the point in you staying with her? You're being humiliated by her. Everyone looks at you like a cuck. Everyone looks at you like some kind of spineless bum when you're Will Smith. You are Willard Smith, and the whole country looks at you like you're a bitch. You tried to stand on business at the Oscars by slapping Chris Rock, and what did you get out of that? Mass humiliation. You crying on stage. You over there crying on stage. You done humiliated yourself. You done slapped Chris Rock. You done crashed out over a chick that 2 years later is talking about Tupac. Oh my God. Like, bruh, what did Will Smith do to deserve this? Will Smith, what did you do? Like, okay, yeah, Jada's been humiliating you. What did you do? Because the shit he's done in conjunction with the shit she's done in conjunction with his unwillingness to leave only just tells me something ain't right here, bro. Will Smith got to grow a backbone and a spine, bro. Call it a day. This chick ain't your wife, as she's clearly just stated. This chick ain't about you. She ain't standing with you. She ain't standing by you. She ain't standing on business. Will, you got to let it go, bro. This is far beyond your control now. This is far beyond your reach. Will Smith, bro, like, she humiliates him further and further. And, bro, this is not the kind of woman you want. If you're going to be in a relationship with someone, you want to be with someone who's on your team. Y'all are supposed to be a team. If you see the entire world looking at your comments and saying, Jada don't love Will, Jada humiliating Will, Jada this, Jada that, the first thing you should do is say, okay, although it may be my truth that XYZ happened and this, that, and the third happened, the world is humiliating the father of my children and my husband. So let me pull back on these things and keep them to myself. But the reality is Jada has nothing else to talk about besides this shit. Besides entanglement and Tupac. What else she gonna talk about? She ain't been in no movie. She ain't been in a... Bruh. Will Smith, bro, you gotta leave her, bro. You gotta do it. What are you waiting for? She's completely in a completely different headspace. This shit is psychological abuse. She's humiliating her husband, who's one of the greatest actors of our time, of American history. He's an American icon, and this is what you do. Bro, Will Smith need to go get a chick that gonna stand on business, stand behind her man, bro. What's going on here with Jada, bro? Will Smith don't deserve this, bro. He don't deserve this, bro. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith gave us Willow. And Willow is one of the greatest rock artists ever. And this is what Jada out here doing. Why? 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 Why, Jada? Why? Like, and what's crazy is, like, there's so many women out there that do this. They test their husband, they try their husband, and it's like, if you want your husband to really stand on business and be the best possible partner, you've got to support him. You've got to support your man. You got to support your partner. If you show consistent gratitude and love and respect towards your partner, that is going to push them to want to do more for you. But if every single time you open your mouth and inhale oxygen, you just violate your partner and slander and just disrespect, Bruh, I can't see how there's high morale in the Will Smith brain. In the brain of Will Smith, I don't think he's got high morale right now. I think he's not doing too good. So, bro, look, at the end of the day, bro, Jada Pinkett Smith has absolutely no respect for Will Smith. She knows what she's doing. She knows the effect that her behavior is having on Will Smith, and she doesn't care. Will Smith needs to just call it quits, let it go, and move on. You're a talented brother. You're a great guy from what we can tell. You've done your best to not humiliate your wife in every way possible, and you've not received the same treatment in return. Will Smith needs to let it go. Just let it go. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below, bro. Because this entanglement shit is getting real nasty, bro. It's getting ugly. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.